you guys enjoyed that little intro there that I worked so hard on. This is my top 30 submission for the NYX Face Awards 2016. So I'm going to go ahead and start by blocking out my brows. For this look, I wanted to paint over my brows, and I didn't want to have those brows because as I'm a fairy, I kind of wanted a more whimsical feel. So go ahead and start blocking those out by gluing your brows down. Make sure you're using a washable glue stick. Go ahead and saturate those brows and try to get them as flat as you can to your skin. So to get rid of that tackiness, we're going to go ahead and set our brows with the NYX HD Photogenic Powder. This is going to take away that tackiness. Going ahead and concealing them with our NYX Color Correcting Palette. We're using the Peach Concealer, so that way it cancels out some of the darkness in our brow. Layer this until you get your desired coverage. Next, to get rid of that shininess and make that brow really stay, we're going to go ahead and use our NYX Color Correcting Loose Powder in Banana. And since this is Banana, it does have another aspect of coverage to it. So we're going to go ahead and take a foundation, the NYX HD foundation in this case, because we've got to have flawless skin. Under our eyes, we're correcting with the NYX Color Correcting Palette again with the salmon peach-ish color. So this is going to go ahead and counteract any darkness under our eyes, any discoloration, anything like that. So I'm applying this under my eyes with my finger. I like using my finger with cream products, warms up the product really well, great application. Go ahead and apply that to your chin, forehead, and nose as well, just to tie in the whole highlighting aspect. Set everything with the NYX HD Photogenic Powder. We want everything to set and stay. Under our eyes, we're setting the banana powder. This powder is very brightening, so I like to use that under my eyes and set anywhere that you applied that concealer. Now onto the part that really makes us whimsical and gives us that majestic feel. Take any black liner. We want to use a pencil liner for this so we can map out our design. So what I went ahead and did is a half moon shape on my eyelid. I wanted it to almost resemble a cut crease, but cut the lid as well. Almost like that Arabic feel, the Arabic makeup types. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This part is a little bit hard for me to explain by voice. It's a little bit easier for you guys to watch, but I will try to explain it as best as I can. So I cut this moon and I just kind of swirled it around the side of my nose, kind of naturally where that line would have fell. Now I'm making the first curve. It kind of looks like a tilted little teardrop. So I started from the crease of my eye, pulled that in, and went from the inner corner of my eye and pulled that to connect it. Now I'm making the third loop over there, and I wanted something on my nose. So I went ahead and curved that in for my nose, and now I'm mapping out the cheekbone. Then taking another line up, needed a little flick there, so I went ahead and did that. Using my NYX HD eyeshadow base, and this is a white base, and I'm taking a light off-white pink matte color for the lid. Using my NYX Prismatic shadow, I'm going to go ahead and start filling in that first bubble there. So this is a bright, bright pink. I went ahead and just took a small brush and filled that in, kind of fading it towards the loop of it. So where the pinch is, I'm applying more product and fading it out. Keep applying this till you get it as pigmented as you want. This is a pretty pigmented shadow, so it can get pretty intense. Taking that off-white shade, the pink toned off-white shade, I'm applying that to the big bubble part just to add that dimension. Then going back between the pink and the white, and now using this prismatic shadow, has a sheen to it, kind of like a pearlescent feel, just to highlight that spot even more. Taking that pink again, we're going to be going back and forth from this pink shadow, also a purple, and our white. So I'm going to go ahead and fade in the sides, so that way the middle is still white. So it's kind of making this effect that it's rounded and with more dimension. Taking that pink shadow, I'm going to fill in the last bubble with completely pink at first. So keep going till that's as opaque as you want. Then I started to take the dark purple, which we're adding as our contour shade here, and we're going to go ahead and pull that from the outsides to get that little fade there as well. So that way it almost looks like this is bulging out, adding more dimension with the dark and light shades. Keep going back and forth between that pink and purple shade, so your main shade and your contour shade, until you make that loop look 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and take that purple shade again, and we're filling in the flick this time. So I'm leaving that little hole open where a wing would be, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that purple. Next, I'm going to gradient that into the pink. So I'm ombreing the purple to the pink onto my cheekbone. So I'm starting to add that dimension on the top of my cheekbone. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going back and forth with those until I get the desired ombre that I want with those and the desired pigmentation. But I am going to take this pink and take it down. See where that dotted line that I started to carve out my cheek? I'm going to follow that down my cheekbone and go ahead and add that hot pink. So I'm just starting this gradient again, and I'm going to start filling in this little upside down triangle, whimsical triangle up here with the HD base, setting that with the light pink off-white shade. Taking that purple, I'm going to deepen the cheekbone area just a little, again making that more of an ombre. Take your favorite liquid liner and go ahead and go over that line that you applied previously. So the good thing about drawing it out first is we made our area, and now when we cover with shadow, it doesn't matter if you cover the black necessarily, because we're going to go back over with a liquid liner and look how much more dimension that gives the look and how much more dramatic it makes it look. So go ahead and just trace those lines, and I'm adding 3 dots at the end of each point just to finish off the black lines themselves. So remember that little spot I said leave open for like a wingish area? We're going to go ahead and fill that in as well and flick that out into the purple. I'm going to carve out my cheeks following that dotted line that we made previously and adding those 3 dots on the end to finish it off. Now let's add some color to the face. I'm going to use the NYX Ombre Blush. I'm taking the more purple side of it and starting to carve out my cheekbone. So kind of an over-exaggerated contour, going back between the light and dark shade of that ombre blush, and then adding the darkest purple shade that we used on our eyes on the cheekbones as well. So with each color, I'm adding more dimension, chiseling out that cheekbone with color over and over again. Take any black shadow you like and go ahead and blend onto the ombre side by the wing of our eye. Taking a highlight, I wanted to add some highlight and luminosity to the skin, so I'm applying this across my whole cheekbone, a little bit over dramatic. And then I wanted my forehead to go ahead and tie in with the cheekbone, so I added that ombre blush as well, and I'm applying that to my jawline as well. In between my eyes, I wanted to brighten even more, so I took the off-white, the pinky off-white shade that we've been using, and just applied this onto the center of my nose, just the top of my nose though. Let's contour our nose. So I'm using the pink shade here, again, the ombre blush, and I'm starting to carve out my nose. So I really wanted to make my nose look like a button nose. I'm using the Prismatic pink shadow here, so as you can see, it's a lot brighter. So to make my nose look like it's turned up like a little fairy or elf would be, I went ahead and made this line right above the ball of my nose. So with making this line, I'm going to make that line with the shadow and blend it up. Do not blend it down onto the ball, we're just blending it up. I took the darker purple from the ombre blush and went in my nostrils to give it more dimension and right over where that line is. Let's fake an upturned nose even more and apply a highlight to the ball of the nose. I wanted some freckles, so I went ahead and take a liquid white liner, and I went ahead and made these like little freckly, they're not more like freckles, but more just like these dots, applied them to my nose as well, made a little ball in between my eyes, and 2 little dots on the side to separate those out. Next, I took some glitter, so I used a glitter liner. It is gold, which I absolutely love because my wings are gold. And I went ahead and went over those bubbles. So I just followed the line of the bubbles, leaving some space for more dimension. I also ended up going over the dots, the 3 dots that are all over my face as well. I wanted more gold into this look and more glitter. Under my eye, I wanted it to be even brighter, so I went ahead and took that white base and applied that under my eye and set that with that light pink white shade. For our lips, I concealed the sides of my lips with the color correcting palette and used the London liquid lipstick over my lips. I wanted this nude, didn't want it washed out, but just something that my lips wouldn't take away from the look, because we're going to go ahead and add some glitter to our Cupid's bow. So I took the NYX glitter glue and some holographic glitter, applied that to my Cupid's bow, and then I went ahead and applied that to my eyes as well. So I wanted those bubbles to pop even more, so I went ahead and applied those to the bubbles of my eye, and whatever was left on my finger, I just kind of smudged it all over my face. So all over the cheekbones and wherever I wanted more glitter to appear. With all this crazy eye makeup and our face being pretty intense, I felt like my neck needed something as well. So after applying lashes, I stacked 2 pairs. I went ahead and took the hot pink shadow and applied this on my neck. So I'm just going under my jawline and then dragging that down my neck, doing an ombre effect again. Seems like that's kind of a pattern here. Taking our purple contour shade, I'm applying this under my jawline again, but just keeping it closer, so making that ombre effect. And that was it for our makeup, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the makeup. I love it. It's super crazy and fun and majestic and just glittery. Let's move on to our back piece. So I made this back piece out of some tape, some foil, I used cotton balls, latex, and spray glue, and I made these little wings. So my concept for the wings, while you guys watch me make this, I wanted one wing to be broken. So this hole is kind of like the bone that's left at the broken wing. Since I was, quote, captured in the beginning, I wanted one wing to have the bone sticking out, but still kind of full, and the other wing be ripped apart. So this is like the little half I have left. So I went ahead and made that. I wanted the back pieces to be whimsical. They're not meant to look realistic at all. I wanted them to be super fun, fantasy-like, and colorful.
When I was little, my fairy tale would have always been to be a fairy. We were always fairies, and one time it was raining and we would not even go inside because we were afraid of our wings getting wet and ruined, so that's kind of what inspired me doing this look. So to paint that, I used my NYX HD foundation just to have that kind of skin color, and then I mixed 2 liquid lipsticks to get that magenta blood. I didn't want our blood to be red because, come on, we're a fairy. Any fairy has to have cool colored blood, and since my theme was kind of like this pink-purple feel, I went with a magenta. Using a black eyeshadow, the same one that we used on our eyes, I went ahead and just added some dimension. Then using a red intense butter gloss as well with some red glitter to add that glittery blood. Now was the true test for me. I took some gold pigment and mixed it with some setting spray to make this little watery consistency here, and I wanted it to be like we were bleeding gold in a way, like we're bleeding these majestic colors. It was definitely hard painting my own back. The other side I had to do off camera because I had to walk as close as I could to a mirror to see my other side because I am right-handed. So again, just showing the wings I made, I added some hot glue around and spray painted that gold with some gold glitter to stick this on my back. I know this totally isn't an SFX rule, but I went ahead and used medical tape and latex to go ahead and stick this on my back. I'm not an SFX artist, but I wanted to show that anyone could do these SFX looks. So I didn't want these to be realistic at all. I think they're super fun and majestic and totally remind me of like a fairy tale movie. Like painting my back was definitely a challenge, but I wanted to get the whole feel of this character I was portraying. When I look at these tutorials that I make for you guys, I look at them as more as like a movie, and in this character, where would I be, what would the setting be, and how would I be acting? So with my tutorials, I don't want them just to be a makeup tutorial. I almost want them to be mini movies for you guys, so you guys can step into my brain and see how I would see this character being portrayed. So voting starts now, guys. Please make sure you're going to vote. You can vote 3 times per email per person. I really hope you guys do vote for me. The next round will be the top 20. They're cutting off 10 people, and I really want to make this cut. I worked so hard on this video. This is definitely a huge accomplishment for me. This video took a lot of time, and as you can see, a lot of hard work, but I definitely think it was all worth it. I really hope you guys can take the time to vote for me, and I really hope to see you in the next round. Don't forget to tag me if you guys do vote for me or post anything on your social media sites. I appreciate all the support you guys are giving. Literally, you don't even know, it means so much to me. So I really hope you guys can vote, and I hope to see you in the next round. Bye, babes. Mwah.